Hello Cancer, welcome back to my channel, The Vibes Inside. I am Mariana and I'm here to do your first reading in the year of 2024. Happy New Year to you. If you are celebrating Cancer, we'll see what comes up for you here. I've pre-shuffled the cards there on the table, but there's a difference here, because most of the other readings I lay the cards as like that, 1, 2, 3 cards. Here it's like they wanted to be like that instead. For you, so I have actually done one Cancer reading, but it didn't feel right to me. Like it was like there was something wrong in some sense with it, or I didn't quite get the tune of it or the full message of it. So I'm giving it another attempt. But one of the things that was there was something about I referred to the last Cancer reading that talked about the cardinal aspect of the Cancer. That this is a self-starter, self-mover energy. That it has a all cardinal signs have like a special, you could say, voice that makes them, you could say, go their own direction. It's like an inner leadership that moves you. Like it that's why I call them self-movers. Like they move from self, not maybe what society tells them, right? Or what they have learned when they grow up. The cardinal aspect is this, well, I don't care what other people think, I'm going to do this even though everybody else tells me it's the wrong thing, right? You have been raised better, Cancer, right? You shouldn't go there, or this is not right for you. You have been raised better than this. You could do differently. You have other choices. But Cancer has this, there is a self-mover aspect or self-leader aspect that takes them somewhere else. That's how I can describe it. And you could say you, Cancer, are a cardinal sign, a water cardinal sign, and it means that the realm that you could be, we can say, the realm where you are a self-mover or a self-leader is the watery realm. So this is the intuitive, emotional, sensitive realm. I believe Cancers are here with a love purpose. It's about learning about love, learning about maybe conditional love and unconditional love. And even though, again, we can be advised that there are different situations about love that don't, like, they are not safe, or they are not good, or in the long term this is not going to last. But Cancers have to go there anyway, right? They have to figure this out themselves. And where the right tune is, what's the right tune for me? how can I be me and then still it's something like, and it's interesting because we are in the Capricorn season right now, which is your opposite. So, and I felt that in the other reading as well. It's like there is this aspect of these two elements that I get in your reading here. Like it's like Capricorns can sometimes be solo people, right? They have to be very focused to get to some kind of goal, and sometimes they do that by themselves. Like they shove other things aside. Not, they don't have time for relationships. They don't have time for, or they are not. They're shoving it aside to keep focus on getting to the end goal that they are pursuing somehow. Where I feel like Cancers, you are more like partner people, right? You want to partner up, and like going solo or being single, and it's like there's a part of there's a part that is not happy there. But you see, if we need someone around or someone to partner up with, it's also important who that is then. And I just talked about like this self-mover aspect of you, which is actually a very core, a core embedded thing in you. That you have to go places, like there is a place or like a setting that is yours, you could say, somehow. That's you have to dive into that or go towards that somehow. But it's different than the Capricorn. Capricorns know they are alone. Like that's part of the Capricorn energy. Like Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It is the devil card in the tarot. Like every Capricorn has a tough life. They usually learn from a very young age that this is hard work, and I'm alone, primarily, actually. Or everything I achieve on my own. Where you, Cancer, you are more like, can we work together on something, right? So these are, and again, there's a reason why they are opposites, right? Because they are kind of drawn, they are drawn by different forces, you could say. Capricorn stick to a goal where you are ruled by the moon, and it means it's an emotional swing, like the swing with the moon is like it goes one way and then the other, and one way and the other, like the new moon and the full moon phases, the tides. It's like it swings, or it moves. It's not the same. It's not fixed. It's not and that is known with water signs, right? That they swing, like the emotional outswing or the emotional changes are apparent with water signs. And you especially, Cancer. I'm a Cancer sun. I know this also, right? That there's a swing. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's not at all as emotional as you are, right? You would be more emotional, you would be more intuitive, more psychic, where Capricorn is embedded in the earthly matters. How can I use earthly things and tools and people to get to my end goal? Where you could be more intuitively guided, more psychically, more emotionally guided also. You can have different choices depending on what day it is, or even where the moon stands, right? It can be more difficult during a full moon or a new moon for you, or you would be more emotional, more moved, right? And these outswings, it's like you are in the way, the way you are moving with the moon is not, you could say, stable in that way. It fluctuates, right? Where Capricorn and Saturn, this is a very set in stone kind of energy. Like it's more, I hear direct, but that's, I don't know, well, maybe there's an energy. Jupiter is direct right now, right? And Capricorn is the 10th house, about work. So there's something about, again, work-oriented, where Cancerians, this is the home, this is family, it's love, it's relationships, very different energy. So maybe it's just because you are influenced by Capricorn energy at the moment. We just had a new moon in Capricorn, right? That the Capricorn energy is somehow influencing you at this time, being your opposite. Of course it could. And if you have certain placements in your chart where you do have Capricorn present, then maybe you will feel this more, right? Or if you for some reason are dealing with a Capricorn in your life, which can happen because opposites attract, right? I get this feeling of like self-mover, self-starter. And I feel like it's because maybe you are not. It's like, as I just said, Capricorns, they are very solo people, right? They can be very determined about a goal, and they cannot have anything distract them. Not much, right? And it means that if they are in a relationship with someone, they are not as emotionally invested, perhaps, as you could be, Cancer. Like you're the homebody, right? You want this two, like the intertwined two-ness, right? That is one of your energies, right? You like this connectedness somehow, where the Capricorn could be much more of a solo person. Like they are not as emotionally well, I guess they can be, but there's something else driving them also, right? They are also a cardinal sign, so they also have a self-mover in them that takes them somewhere else. Like it moves from a different core. It's an earth cardinal, and you are a water cardinal. You move from different cores. And this time of reading, I am talking about the core and what is perhaps the difference. I think it's important to understand the difference, especially if you stand in front of an opposite somehow. And right now I feel like for this reading and the new moon in Capricorn, that there are opposite energies right now. that are maybe, it doesn't, I don't think you may feel that it's in your favor, you know, like the situation or the you could say you are a summer sign and we have winter, at least in the upper hemisphere, we have winter right now. So it's like the energy right now is not accommodating to your energy, Cancer, right? That it's just to, again, something about environment, something about, like, is it, like the time right now is maybe not for you to take action, Cancer, right? Because it's almost like it's not your season, right? It's not accommodating you. It will not accommodate you. It's not like you. It's the opposite of you. It does opposite of you. That's how it is. And again, this idea that you, like, if we are dealing with an opposite energy, or at least an energy that is different than you, also fire and air, right? We just have to understand that at their core, they are driven by something else than you. Like those values that you hold very dear and are so embedded in your core as the most important thing, well, they don't have the same priority necessarily. So to have that, like to have that connection that you're looking for, I would say is probably more found with other water signs than you can find it with an opposite energy or a different energy than yours. It's just something to have in mind, I guess. So when you self-move, Cancer, towards something, it's because it's right for your core, right? It's necessary, it's a need perhaps in your core. That you need something, as I said, like the two-ness, like the coming together, the welcoming coming together on both sides, right? That on both find it beneficial to be here. Both see the value in this. So coming together with something that is like you is maybe and I guess also maybe more peaceful, right? Because the understanding is there. But the spark that we sometimes feel, the heat and the spark and the attraction that we sometimes find with an opposite partner is not the same. So I feel like I talk about friend here, like best friend, friend-like. This is home, right? This is a feeling of home and embrace, you could say. And maybe that's why I have these other, like that it's a different setting, that normal, that we have root here, and we have crown chakra or guidance, intuition, right? And this is maybe what you feel like at the moment, like where are you exactly now, right? So let's open the cards up and see what we have here for you. Okay, at the center I have Bridget, the goddess of eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So I feel like, again, this talks about what I say about the core, that there is, like you have a specific core, Cancer, and that core is undisputable. Like there are certain values here, certain and they are vitally important to you. They even address like basic needs, you could say. Basic needs that you have to have around you to feel happy, to feel okay, to feel at peace or even safe or something, right? It has to be present. And that flame of yours that is how you are. Like that, it would be how people would see you. They would know this about you. I don't know, like maybe it's because you tell them, right? Maybe you start to address what you are more here, or because it's like she's beaming of this light here, right? She's beaming of this golden, I want to say golden, maybe confidence. The yellow color is usually about confidence. We talk about flame here also. Each day my light grows brighter. We say that, Cancers are known for a maternal energy, an energy of like the mother, care, nurture, understanding, empathy. They are like, you could say, the mothers of the zodiac. They can be selfless. I'm not saying that all cancers are. Some cancers are buckled up. Like they have so many walls around them. They are more disorganized in their energy. They have needed to buckle up because they have been challenged in their energy. If you are kind, if you are selfless, if you are motherly, if you are a nurturing, caring, a helper, if you want something, that's what we have in the mother, right? The mother is someone who cares about someone else's growth. She cares about her child and the safety and the care of the child. To like that the child grows and become, strong enough to face the world and to be there and to participate and be able to manage themselves, right? That would be the maternal, motherly qualities of cancers. But sometimes this energy is like totally disrupted. And this is when, because you see, like a maternal energy and the ability to put yourself in someone else's place and guide them and be available to them. So put your own needs aside and be available for someone else. Like this can be if that is a core thing in you, it could be abused. Like it could be used and abused, and that's it. When that happens, this is where the cancer buckles up. That now they don't trust, like they can become a non-trusting person. They buckle up, they hold their energy in, which is not natural for a cancer, but they do it because they have been hurt in some way. So I get it. There are many cancers out there who are really struggling with maybe the trust to actually just open and be this energy that they are. Because what they have experienced is that they don't get it back. That's what we know with nice people, right? Nice people finish last, right? Nice people are those who give, and they give to those who take. Those who take do not necessarily give back. So you could say, to be able to sustain an eternal flame here of maternal giving, selfless motherly energy, it can be taken for granted. Who is making sure that the Cancer is okay? Like, who is helping the Cancer in her pursuit to be like that? Because she's an important energy. Like, this is the one we go to when things go wrong, right? So when the child explores and they fall and hit their knee, who do they run to when they are sad and they feel like they can't deal with the world or it hurts? Well, they run to the mother, right? The motherly embrace is the one that we want. It's the energy that is the caring and understanding one. It's the energy that is helpful and assisting and supporting. So when you feel, like challenged and powerless and everything, when an energy like this comes in, it kind of just hugs you, right? And it would nurture you and care for you until you find your balance again and you're ready to go out there once more, And this can be, and it's beautiful when she is in that energy, like when Cancer is in that energy. But if nothing supports her, like if this is just taken for granted, if this is like there is some kind of value or some kind of inner tune or inner source that Cancers have to dive into and connect with to be able to still provide this, to still be like this. Because there are so many other people out there who are takers. They would just take that. They would take this energy and not really give anything back, because Cancer would like the reciprocated energy. They give this and hope to receive the same. That is the mutuality of Cancer, right? You give some of this to also hope to receive some of it back. But sometimes people don't, right? They just take what you offer, what you are. They take what you are, and then they go off, right? And pursue their own goals. So Cancers have to have an eternal flame here. They have to figure out how to recharge themselves. They have to have the confidence here about who they are and what value they have, right? That the value that Cancers have at the core are crucial and beautiful and important. So this feels a little bit like someone who knows that, like they know that I have a special energy. When I step into this energy, this is something very unique about me. And it's not to be taken for granted. It's not to be abused. This is like my uttermost virtue. And nobody is supposed to take that for granted, right? I shine with this kind of light, but it must never be abused, right? I feel like this eternal source here, it probably links to this card. This also came out in the previous reading I was trying to do for you. The magic card here. The magic as a driver card, or as your root, you could say. That this is the tree you come from. That's the root that I want to say you're supposed to have. Like you're supposed to have roots like this. Because one of the ways that you sustain your energy, I guess, Cancer, is with your magic. It's with the magical realm the romance, the fairy tales. It's with the beauty of life. It's the flowers. It's the fairies. It's the imaginary realm of romance and beauty and daydreams and flowing. That's one of the ways where your eternal flame comes from, or what ignites your eternal flame is when you connect with that inner child of yours that is extremely magical here in her ways. They come across quite similar to me, like we see how she is glowing here and how there is this glow around her also. So this feels a little bit like someone very connected to their inner child, or their roots, I want to say. The roots where the Cancerian roots of motherly, maybe source energy, right? That it's important to have that one. Otherwise, it can be quite difficult to maintain your energy and to keep your spirit up, I feel like also. To keep your spirit up. Keeping the spirit up as a Cancerian who would provide for others maybe emotional support and understanding here. It takes a certain spirit to keep doing that if you don't get anything back. Maybe you do, and that would be great, right? But otherwise, I want to say, even if you are single here, like one of the ways that you can maintain your energy is by really being true to this one. Like listen to like your roots or your inner child here. She seems a bit younger, this one, than this one. But you get my point. It's like it's a source of it's a source of eternal flame. It's a source of, you could say, if you can tap into your imaginary realm and you are very in tune with that, it is an eternal flame. It is an infinite supply chain. It is a place, because the imaginary realm, the magic realm, is infinite. Anything can happen there. Anything can be created there. Anything is possible in the magic realm. So Bridget represents here the essence of an inner dawn and the healing that comes from knowing that the best is yet to come. Bridget is the goddess of pre-Christian Ireland. She's associated with the Indo-European dawn goddess and the coming of spring. So this is interesting. It's like maybe like a rebirth, like the dawn suggests that like the sun is starting to rise, right? That it's starting to rise, but not yet quite there. It's not full daylight, right? It's the start of something and the coming of spring. She's celebrated in the Celtic festival called Imbolc that takes place halfway between the winter and spring solstice. Well, we're not quite there yet, right? We had the winter solstice in December. So maybe she is an omen here about something on the rise for Cancerians here. It is said that the movement between dusk and daybreak, Bridget arose into the sky with flames like rays of the sun blazing in her hair. There's a shrine near Kildare in Ireland that is sacred to the Druids, because it is believed to have been a place where Bridget's priestesses tended to her eternal flame. This is where they learned the ancient healing practices that are associated with Bridget. And this is where in 480 CE, Saint Bridget built a monastery in honor of the goddess and created a communal and consecrated created a communal and consecrated center for women's religious life and learning. She's associated with poetry, with all things elevated states of beings, high rising flames, lofty dimensions, elevated wisdom. She is said to have created the whistle for calling out from one person to another while walking through the night, which lifts the wanderer with its levity and reminds her she's not alone. How interesting this is, because I've talked about this idea of like maybe walking alone, or the Capricorns that are solo, right? And then the Cancerians that actually do want to join forces, that do want to be with someone else. The idea of poetry, which is also can be quite like you could say Cancerian realm, states of being. So there could be something about consciousness states here. High rising flames, lofty dimensions. Lofty dimensions are also, like the imaginary realms. And she has created the whistle for calling out from one person to another while walking through the night. And how I see that is like walking through the night alone, perhaps here, right? It lifts the wanderer with its levity and reminds her she's not alone. Why do I get the feeling that you could be... And I just said that Capricorns, they usually can sometimes choose to be solo, right? So if someone is walking alone here, the wanderer, alone, a Capricorn, that maybe you're calling out to them somehow, or you have the ability to call out to them. Like through the lofty realms, through the imaginary realms, or through dreams, maybe. Dreams. In the dream realm, so the essence of the magic card here represents the infinite intelligence of Great Spirit that makes up the fundamental fabrics of the universe. We experience the evidence of the magic through synchronicities or meaningful coincidences. When magic appears, you are invited to see the world through the eyes of wonder and awe, taking on the innocence of a child who knows that all things are possible. Infinite potential exists in the great mind, and you are being invited to call it in and recognize the dance of synchronistic events signs and symbols and omens given to you through the oracle of the ordinary world. This is a sign that Spirit is reminding you that you co-create your world in a sacred partnership. Your part is to dream, to intend, and to watch for the signs that show you what next action to take. Right now it appears that you are on the right track to make your dreams come true. Great Spirit is listening and acting on your behalf. Pay attention. Magic gives birth to miracles. There's a saying also that if you can dream it, you can become it, or you can create it, or become it or be it, right? But then I have the first chakra here, Archangel Michael, on top of the reading. And I said this could be, intuition, it could be crown chakra downloads and things like that. And here I have the first chakra. Like the first chakra is like this is opposite. This should be the last chakra. Like the first chakra has to do with roots. It has to do with our primary needs. It has to do with like basic instinct programming or core. It is you could say the primary attachments that we have when we are born. The caretakers, the mothers and fathers, that this is. So you see, like this is here, like it's supposed to be your root, you could say. I get the feeling that like the first chakra can hold trauma, right? So the first chakra is one of the chakras that are important to clear if we want a more balanced life. For some reason, I get the feeling like, because it's in your mind, like it's positioned where the crown is over you could say, over your head here. It's positioned where your crown is. And this means that if you have wounding somehow, that you haven't cleared your you could say your downloads will not be clear. Like it will be muddled somehow. This can suggest that you are that you have that there's something on your mind here that you are trying to fix. I feel like realizing that you need to activate something else here. It's almost like, I want to say, it's almost like these should change position, right? But you see, in order for your mind to become clear, your root has to be, your setting, your footing, your grounding on earth has to be kind or loving and caring. For you to be the beautiful maternal Cancerian energy, your roots have to be as well, right? If they haven't been, like if you had problems here, your ability to, you could say, manifest or be this motherly figure is probably difficult. It feels a little bit like the Cancerian I'm talking to here are trying to reverse something, like for you, this is the center card, so this is important. Like this is what you have, I don't know if I would say fighting for, but this is what you are protecting or having in mind here, that this has to be intact for you, right? If this is not intact, you cannot be your energy. Like it's polluted then in some way, or wronged, or so to have this, you need to have, like, the roots have to be clear or solid, founded. Does that make sense for you? Like, and if it has not been so, what is on your mind here is the problems, like the problems or the trauma or the issues here. Because this is attachment, right? This is primary attachment. This is where we feel safe or should feel safe. This is where we feel home. Again, Cancerian trait, home, security, safety, the place of care and nurture and support, you know, that if you have that, you would probably, you know, like this would be solid. This would be a solid roots. You would stand with your eternal flame, and you would be probably very imaginary and very maybe a novel writer or a poet, or a, you know, very connected with the higher realms, very lofty dimensions, the astral travel, the daydreamings, the fantasies would be very vivid for you here. But for some reason, I feel like it's almost like you're trying to reverse a process. Like you're trying to, like you have in mind that something is off here. So for you to protect and have your internal flame going, you need to have different roots. Like this has to be in place in order for something else to shift here, right? So that this is going to be a more like clear stream of existence. Does that make sense? It's like you have an awareness of your core here. And that there are certain things that need to be in place somehow. Can I get another card on this first chakra here? Because the first chakra is normally positioned at the root. So it means it's at your bottom, you could say. It's not in your crown chakra position. Here we have the 7th chakra normally. So it's like, it's opposite, you know, like the... It could be the feeling that your crown, the way you think, is not supporting manifestation. Or you have intrusive thoughts here. Stressful thoughts. Let's have another card on this. I want to know a little bit more about this first chakra here. Archangel Michael is a defender, right? He's a fierce warrior. He's a defender. He can cut ties. He can, and maybe that's on your mind, that you want to break from something, like you want to break out from something. It's positioned here like it could be on your mind. And one of the ways of doing that is maybe to allow something to inspire you here. Like a connection needs to be established from which you have eternal flame, right? Okay, first chakra, Archangel Michael, what is this about, please? I get 4 of Wands here. Okay, Four of Wands is usually like the 1111 card. That would be the marriage card. It would be the one you like the one to buy. Sometimes we see this card as a in other tarot pictures. We see that two people are trying to establish a home, like that the wands here represents the pillars, that the four corner pillars of a home together, like a like a yeah, you're trying to manifest someone here using your imagination here to stand in whatever power you are, Cancer. And then it's like, because look at this, like she's playing the flute here. It's like she's sending a signal out to call in her mate, you know, the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is considered to be like the marriage card. Like this is the partner. Like that is the one the 1111, like the four pillars, you know, like the four pillars of makes a like you know, 4 ones, 4 11 11. Like it's considered the right partner, the one to, you know, build with, to build the home with. It's like a nesting call here. A nesting call. Like you're calling out to like calling out for someone here. A bit like the book said about Bridget, right? That she is, what was it? Whispering to the it's like you are using like an imaginary realm here to call to be who you are, and call in, like this is on your mind, like it's in the mind space here in the crown, like calling in someone here. She's said to have created the whistle, like the flute here, for calling out from one person, from her to another, while walking through the night. So while she is walking in the night, in moon time, she's fluting, whistling here. It lifts the wanderer with its levity and reminds her she's not alone. It's almost like you're sending a signal, maybe in nighttime, dream time, when you're asleep, sending a levitating and uplifting signal to someone here who is your 1111, who is your dream person perhaps. Or even, as again Archangel Michael is a defender, he is one who can break ties. He can cut you loose from situations that are binding you, that you don't want to be in. You're looking for maybe a protector here, or a defender, a warrior. But again, it's a rude person. So it means it's maybe, you know, it could be someone on your mind who you have roots with. Like this could be a child, right? It could be a family member. Like you have shared roots. Maybe you have shared trauma. Like you grew up in the same family. Maybe this is, inherited blood-like trauma that you are trying to untie or cut here. You're trying to cut from it. And but you see, from the magic place, shining your light, whistling, fluting, sending out a signal here to call in. I feel like someone with shared roots, not necessarily shared like in shared trauma, but they have the same roots of magic, maybe, like, they have the same. I said something about, like that cancers, they wanna bond with, you could say, others that are like them, like that have the same preference, that are also because I believe cancers, they are more they are peace walkers, peace people. They try to balance. They're the first water. They're the calmest water, the most clear and maybe you could say naive or a bit romantic. They are not. It's the first water. They don't like disagreement. They don't like conflicts. They want to harmonize. They want to balance and harmonize. They want something to be kind, and again, the home, they want it to be kind and mutual, and like a harmony. They want harmony. It's like seeking someone here, trying to manifest someone who could be your potential partner here, the Four of Wands, but who also wants to harmonize, right? They want to harmonize like you, right? They have the same interest. They have the same values. They have the same core or the same footing, the same root as you, the same core, right? They have the same roots. They have the same footing as you. They have the same kind of, you could say, or maybe they have the same to offer, right? They have some of the same to offer as you have. So it will be a mutually beneficial, you could say, an equal, you could say, give and take, or the interests are the same here. Does that make sense? But I feel like it's because they are not here, like they are not with you. I get a feeling of solo or single here, but trying from the dream space or from the imaginary realm to picture or to characterize someone who would be right for you, right? Your Four of Wands here. Someone who is like powerful, a strong protector. I get handsome also, right? He's quite muscular, Michael here. Archangel Michael. He's also like, again, he has, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like he has this halo around him, or this energetic, and it's, like it's a bit like that there is a shared kind of, you would say, fire, or I get like a mutuality. Maybe this is like a, well, it is a marriage card, this Four of Wands. It's like building a home, someone who would invest with me, with harmony, like in this home. I don't know, like a soulmate. It could be like a best friend, you know. But normally, well, marriage. Well, I guess some people would go for that. They would marry their best friend over someone they find hot and feisty, you know. Like they would go for the more long-term harmony that is secured through mutual interests, right? That they would choose a partner like that over the like the heated attraction, you know, because the long-term harmony is more what cancers seek here, but not necessarily always what we get attracted to, right? Sometimes we get attracted to our opposite, and as I said, the opposite could be this lonely solo wanderer, right? It could be a Capricorn, but I just get the feeling of like wanting to manifest someone who is maybe you are like, you could have someone in mind. I feel like you have someone in mind here, that this is could be a particular person. It could be someone you're creating here. Like you are trying to align your own vision with someone specific here. Like you're using your imagination or to imagine them. Like imagine who they are, right? The characteristics of them. What kind of person are they? What personality do they have? What kind of values do they have? Like that is all here, right? It's all here. Um, yeah, someone who is yeah, I feel like having the same roots, because first chakra is not always, you know, like trauma. It can be because, well, many people are dealing with something that can potentially prohibit them from finding the partner that they need, or is actually like beneficial for them. Sometimes we are just repeating some of the same problems we grew up with. But I'm not saying that this is the case. You could have very good roots. I guess then you're not on my channel probably, but you could have healed them, or you are aware of them, right? You could also be, you know, like you could be sending out a signal here to someone who is on your mind, who you share something with, or who is your dream person, you know. But they may be wandering alone. Maybe you're separate from them right now, you know. This is a divine feminine card. Usually it talks about, you know, like a healed feminine, or a feminine that is aware that she is on a healing path, perhaps. Um, she's trying to stand in her own glow here, in her own power, to call in the right partner for her. But you see, who is that exactly? It's definitely someone you have in mind, I think. There's a call here. The flute whispering, a tune, a song. Maybe you hear this from someone else. Like maybe you hear the call from someone else here. Who is your Four of Wands? But who are they then? Like it's because she sits alone here, right? And she's fluting. Or she's playing the flute here. It's like sending out a special vibe here. Sending out a special vibe, and it's your vibe. So it's a maternal, caring, nurturing vibe here, I feel like. Sending that out, I guess, to hope to attract someone here. Like when we have very powerful roots, you know, when our family structure is very healthy and vibrant and loving and caring, this guy is very, very important, right? He could be like a paternal figure, like a father, maybe a brother, you know, but someone who cares, who has roots you are rooted with here, someone who is maybe your soulmate or another family member or a family, or they have the same roots. As I said, they have the same priorities, they have the same values, they are like-minded, they are like-spirited or like-minded to your energy here, Cancer, right? Calling out for the right spouse, I feel like. If you somehow have an idea who this is, well, you know, you could be trying to call them in here. But then again, I feel like they have to be healed here, right? They have to be wanting to. Again, the Four of Wands is a mutual coming together. It's not a forced marriage. It's because both of them want to. Like both of them want to put in the energy and the effort to harmonize and make this work. You know? That is the Four of Wands. The right one. You're calling in the right one. And you're doing it with the energy you have, like the energy you sent out is calling for the right one here. It could be a solo wanderer. Maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them. You just know the characteristics of the right person. Like you know how they should be, like what they should think, what they should be, like what are their values. Maybe in a marriage, right? What are their true values in a marriage? How would they treat you if they were there? How would they treat you? What to expect of them, right? What are their values, you know? I feel like someone trying to call that in here. Again, I feel like from a self-starter position, because she's alone here. I get a feeling of Empress with this energy, like she stands in her fire here, in her flame, in her maternal flame, and she's calling forth. That's what the Empress does. The Empress has an energy that is quite you could say, elevated. You don't get to the Empress state unless you have already healed or evolved certain stages. You don't become the Empress just like that. It's not necessarily built in. Like you grow to become the Empress. You evolve to become the Empress. And she could be calling in her Emperor, right? The Emperor is Aries energy, evolved Aries energy. I don't know. And that would be fire. That would be a cardinal fire sign then. So you see, so a cardinal Empress, feminine, calling in a cardinal masculine here, perhaps, right? To build with here. Someone who has the willingness, so the fire, to do this with her. Like she's not forcing anything, she calls with her energy. Like her energy is shining from her, who she is. And this is a message, right? She sends this message out. And then she's calling for the right one, right? The right one who shares some of the same values, who are willing to work with her here, right? In a harmonized manner, like a corporation in a harmonized manner, where both see the value of this, both want this, both prefer this, both choose this, both cherish this, right? That is what she's calling for here. Can we get another card on this guy here? A little more. Can we get some characteristics on this guy? So I get the 10 of Michael here. This is interesting. This is also Michael energy. Michael and Michael, right? Here. So it says here, the 10 of Michael is a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Again, this suggests, as I said, Archangel Michael can cut ties to something that potentially has been traumatic, maybe a situation you don't like, you want out of. The 10 suggests that you are out of. The 10 is an ending. The 10 suggests that whatever burdens you may have been carrying, the show is done. Like you can bow and say goodbye. He is here. Maybe you are calling in someone who could, make your worries go away. Because they would be your 1111 here, right? They would be the one who is, I even want to say, like I feel like, it's like I get both. Like I get that the calling here, the calling that you're making here is asking someone here, someone to, I feel like become free. Like, it's almost like you are calling for someone who could be in some kind of trouble here, to be free. Like to free themselves, to cut those ties. To end a show, right? Maybe they are married with someone else, or they're in a partnership with someone else, but you know this is your partner, right? You know this is my Four of Wands here. I'm calling them to make, like, to end it. Like the Michael suggests the cutting of ties, the cutting of toxic bonds, or a freeing process. A freeing process of something that doesn't suit you, or that is not right for you, or maybe not right for them here. Calling in Archangel Michael, if we call in Archangel Michael, it's because he can help us cut those ties. He can help us say goodbye to something. He can help us free ourselves from something. Maybe you're trying to free yourself from a marriage here that you were in, some tie. Or you are fluting here, you're sending out a signal that you are right here, and that like a situation can be solved, right? A situation can be solved by freeing yourself, by freeing themselves. But again, you take like when you could enmesh yourself, right? Like you could choose to force a situation. You could. I don't think she's doing that here. She just stands even brighter in her energy. Like she is showing. I feel like you want to show someone else where there's harmony. You know, like you want to show that you are someone who is into harmony. You prefer harmony. You want the calmer waters, and that's the signal you send out. Right? That's the signal you send out. And I feel like that it could be someone you have in mind here, but for some reason I feel like it's either it's someone that you want to free yourself from, or you are asking someone out there to free themselves, right? To free themselves so that they can see themselves totally, so that they can have a clear mind. This is air energy here. 10 of Michael is air energy. It is clear thoughts. It is the end of problems. Trying to, you could even say, cleanse your brain, right? Or cleanse your thought patterns. Free your thought patterns here. The first chakra here, it talks about stability and security. Michael holds a beautiful globe of red energy at the first chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. And look at this. I'm really, I read about the card 35, which is Michael, and look at the bottom here. It says 111. I feel like there's something about 1111 energy, the right one, the soulmate, the one you're supposed to be with here, right? Okay. Michael holds a beautiful globe of red energy at the first chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. This is the place where your sense of stability and security is stored. When the card is upright, it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, these challenges are beginning to be resolved at this time. Archangel Michael is with you, bringing you strength and personal stability. You are capable of taking action and moving forward on your path. So allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security now and always. We know that Bridget was a card of dawning, right? That something is starting to, like a rebirth, a starting point, that it starts to move, you could say. And there's this sense that I feel like maybe you have managed to free yourself from something here. You may be freeing yourself from a marriage that wasn't right for you, or freeing yourself from, you could say, again, the 1111 sign is a synchronistic sign about being on the right path towards harmony and balance and the things you're looking for. So you could be, like being on the dawn of something, the dawn of new strength, new personal stability, maybe a stability in your core, like you know who you are here. And the release of some kind of, I feel like, a freeing. It says here you're finally free, right? The past is behind you. You can put it behind you. You don't have to be like enmeshed in something maybe here. You have managed to free yourself, and you stand with a different crown, I feel like here, right? A different crown. So it means like the way you think, a different identity maybe, a different confidence, a different personal stability, a different strength, new abilities to take action and move forward on your path. Maybe new boundaries, things like that you have freed yourself from. And I hear, it says here finally freed, like finally freed yourself from something that could have been maybe about safety and security. So this is extremely beautiful, Cancer, for what you are doing. Can I get another card on the magic here? So I get a Knight of Raphael here. It says romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationship, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So this, of course, it makes sense with Cancerian energy, romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, like the knight in shining armor coming to your rescue, or you're imagining yourself with like something specific here, or like fairy tale, the love story of the ages, maybe you are imagining a certain knight here to come to your rescue, right? Maybe you're imagining that. But I get the feeling that it's helping. It's definitely help you to free yourself from something here. And to have more personal strength moving forward, I think. And I get this feeling of like at dawn. Can we have a card on Bridget, please? So I get King of Pentacles here. This is interesting. This came out also in the former reading I did for you, and it felt a bit like a future vision, like something that is on the rise for you, something that is coming, or you're trying to manifest it, like a future perspective. Again, this is like a dawn of something. And again, this is very earthy. This could be a Capricorn, right? Could be a Capricorn energy, which is the opposite of you. So just bear that in mind, right? That they are different than you, their core, and their core believes that they're driven by something else than you. But as long as they invest, right? They are king here. As long as they invest, and you are maybe also not quite the Empress yet, right? But Empress-like, I feel like Empress-like, maybe not quite there. This is a dawn. But like working your way towards something. And in that process, you have freed yourself. So it means it's like she stands with a sense of release or relief, right? It's like, finally I can actually show up who I am. Like, finally I can let people know, or I can let others know, or them know, if you have someone particular in mind here. Finally I'm free. Maybe you have gotten yourself out of a marriage, or you have freed yourself from some kind of insecurity. It could be the other way around, that you are manifesting someone who comes in, who will be like, they can be this King of Pentacles here, who is going to help secure you, right? Like they have a mutual wish to bond. Like they have a mutual wish to create the Four of Wands, the corner pillars. They have a mutual wish to nest or to be with you, right? They have chosen that. Like the King of Pentacles here is usually what we call the catch. Like they have everything. They have, or at least everything you can have from the earthly realm. They have money, they have security, they have very stable income, they have maybe a beautiful house, car, they are very maybe successful. It could be you, like you could become this one, right? And securing yourself in that way. But it could also be that you are calling in someone here, trying to manifest someone who is mutually interested in the home. What they have everything here, but maybe a wife, right? A caring, nurturing, beautiful wife whom they want to provide with and for, but it's someone who sees your value, right? They see you as special in that way. Like your way of being is special to them. This because what you have cannot be bought with money, right? It would be fake then. It would be pretense, right? What you have here is a heart of gold, right? You have this, and that is what they, like they would see that, they would understand, and they would find it precious, and that's why they show up, right? That's why they're here. That's why they are willing to invest. That's why they see a mutual beneficial, you could say, like they can have their house on their own. As I say, they could be wandering alone, right? They could be quite into work. They could be workaholics here. They could be I get Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but for some reason Capricorn here. They are stable, solid providers. They are reliable also. Like that's one of the reasons why they have success. It's because they work a lot. They are loyal to their job or to their boss or to the company. They are maybe even self-employed here. They could have their own business. They are successful. They are again stable, reliable. They show up. They don't leave. Like this is, it's reliable, right? It's stable and reliable. It's not in and out and fluctuating. It's a very, I wouldn't say fixed, but it has a certain stable calmness to it, right? That it keeps just what is that saying? It's like I get calm and stable wins the race, but that's not quite how it is. But something like that, like when you keep investing something, over time, eventually you will have an outcome of something. That's how they are here. They are invested, they are reliable, they are trustworthy, they're honest, I think. They are hard workers, or they stick, like when they are into something, they're very loyal and devoted, right? That's what I feel like is here. But you are, like you are trying to manifest from the heart space, the romance, the two-ness, like two people together, the two as one, two coming together as one, romantic, it's poetic, it's maybe like a fairy tale, it's the knight in shining armor. You are manifesting from like a romantic standpoint, and that is because you are doing that. That is the shine you have. That is the whistle or the flute, the sound you send out, and it's to call in or call for or look for or attract. Yeah, I get like adorning Empress here, right? Adorning Empress who has the ability of attracting someone like this, or even, I want to say, maybe even building this yourself, like adding a side to you that you can be this, even if you wander alone. But yeah, but again, I get this feeling that it's it's like you're calling for it, you're fluting for it here. This could also talk about like a specific kind of work that you want to have. Pentacle here, a specific kind of maybe money stream or work that really fits you, right? That fits your romantic, poetic, imaginary, magical realm. Like this could be a self-employed and successful writer, maybe, or poet, or novel writer, or something like that. But you know, like they are successful maybe in the magic realm, right? They're successful in the romance, dramatic, I don't know, romance novels, right? The lovers that have to go through so much and eventually they will be together at the end, right? That kind of, that realm where you can build the realm, right? You can create the realm that the lovers are in here. You can characterize them, how they are, what they look like. You could be the princess here, right? That is calling in her knight, or in shining armor. You know, like you create that in your mind, Cancer. That's one of your characteristics, that you have this. This could also suggest that, you know, the King of Pentacles could suggest something about worthiness. That because I did take the card for Bridget, right? So it can be someone you want to call in, but it could also be like King of Pentacles would be someone who, as I said, they are the catch. So this could be something like, you know that you are a catch. Like he sits here as a king. Like he is a king. You can dispute that. As I said, it's a dawning of something here. A dawning that that there's that you have worthiness here. That what it is that you are and can do here has worth. It is beautiful. It is special. Like if we didn't have, you know, all, I guess you could say, most cartoon stories, most fairy tales, most dreamscapes, some computer games are very imaginary realms with avatars in them, right? We have a lot of films that come from the imaginary realm, or at least I would say maybe they come from memory, but you know, like they don't resemble the reality we live in. They only resemble to a certain point. Let's say if we take the story like Harry Potter, or you could say any kind of fairy realm or something, it doesn't represent the reality we're in. So it must be something else. It's another realm. You know, the Avatar films. We even know, like the film has even described it like that. Like one of the male character, the main male character is paralyzed. He has no ability to use his legs. But when he is connected with this machine that allows him to operate through an avatar in the avatar realm, he can run. He can do anything. He can fly on dragons. He can conquer worlds, right? But in reality, he is paralyzed. In reality, he is a human paralyzed from some kind of warrior, soldier, military activity. So it allows him in that realm to be this blue big avatar, and he can run, and he is fast, and he can fight, and he can conquer, you know. In that realm, he can again be a successful warrior, where in reality, in his reality, outside of the avatar realm, he was a paralyzed soldier. So the imaginary realm is important for anyone who feels, let's say, less than, who feels powerless. Sometimes the imaginary realm is the only escape for certain people. It's the only way to find some kind of happiness. You know, that the fairy tale realm is the only way. If you know I believe it's H.C. Andersen who has made a story about, it's a girl with the matches. The girl with the matches. So it talks about, it's actually a sad story. It's a girl that lives in the outskirts of everything. It's winter. She sits outside. She's freezing. The only thing she has is her 3 matches. It's the only thing she has left. And every time she strikes a match and these lights come, it's like it allows her to drift into an imaginary realm where she remembers her family. She remembers a beautiful dinner table with all the Christmas food. She dreams of the Christmas presents, or the candles, the smell of cookies and beautiful dinner food. There's warmth, there's comfort, there's home, you could say, right? She dreams about she strikes, when the match is burned out, she strikes another one. And actually these fantasies, like they allow her to, even if she sits and she freezes and she's starving, it allows her to have, you would say, a beautiful ending. I believe the story ends with her dying, that she still dies out there in the cold, but the imaginary realm allows her to have a bit of joy or a bit of comfort in her last hour, you could say, right? And I'm not to say that this is your last hour or anything, but you get my point, that when people are very, very distressed, very thrown to the ground, sometimes they need something to be a sense of comfort, right? They need to hold on to something. Otherwise, if that is not even there, it's a very cold, harsh world, right? So sometimes people hold, especially people who have been like in very traumatic situations, very down, very insecure, very threatened. Sometimes they have to hold on to something that is you could say it for you as a cardinal sign. I believe this is one of your ways to deal or to cope with the world, right? It's that is your cardinal, right? That is the one that moves you maybe when everything else is lost, right? That is the one that ignites something, that changes something for you, that you turn to the imaginary realm, whatever that is. It's anything that is non-form, and you give it form. You decide the realm, you shape it, the colors, if you just take the realm of Star Trek, like all these different, you could say, entities or these different beings that come from other planets, that look different than humans, right? They look different, they have a different language, they have different values maybe, they dress differently, they eat different things, they communicate differently. All that is something that you can create. Like you can make the realm where everything is possible. So why not this guy, right? Why not this guy, you could say, who is either your own self-worth here, about who you are, or someone who, why not figure out to call in someone here who knows your value, who appreciates everything about you, who appreciates your romance, because they don't have it. Like they could be very serious business people here. They don't have the imaginary realm. It's a bit like I think about Pretty Woman now. You know this, that Richard in the film Pretty Woman, he is like a very successful business person, but that is what his life is. You know, like his life is all about buying off or buying companies that are about to fail, and then sell them off in pieces with some kind of profit. That's how he has built his business, his empire, you would say, his richness, his abundance in that sense. But it's very, like, it sticks to only that realm. That it's all about money, it's about numbers, it's about suits, lawyers, business dinners and business deals. When he gets home, you know, there's nobody there. When he gets home, he's alone. When he gets home, he may look at the stock market, and you know, it's that realm he's in. And then this one is like, you know, Julia Roberts, right? She has this strange laugh, and she sings when she's bathing in the tub and in the bathtub, right? And she has a sparkliness around her that he's not used to, right? She has a glow perhaps to her. She has a glow to her that is special, and something that he doesn't have in his life. That's what this guy is, right? That would be Richard then, right? Richard would be able to provide the entire frame, like everything that is necessary to uphold a life. She would be the music in it. Like she would be the creative music in it. She would be the colors. She would be the flowers, right? She would be the dance, right? That's how they can somehow come together, these energies. You just have to know that at the core they are very different. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It doesn't mean that it couldn't happen. I believe you're trying to manifest someone here from an imaginary realm. Because you have freed yourself, you're trying to figure out something here. Like a get-together of something that is the 4 pillars. Like the 4 pillars can also suggest that you become the 4 pillars, right? That you are now stable and secure. Maybe you are building something. Again, as I said, it's something about owning her worth here. Knowing that you are worthy of something stable. You are worthy of as I just said, sometimes fantasy is the comfort for certain people. You could have comfort here. You could give comfort to certain people out there, right? You could be a comforting voice for people that are going through stuff out there or don't feel that they have anyone. You could be like a friend, a friend for people who do not feel they have one. That could be what you are sending here. That could be what you are providing. You know you have something here to offer. And the King of Pentacles could suggest that finally you see that. Maybe that's what the freeing is about. That you actually see that you have worth. You know you have worth. You know that, and that's one of the reasons why there is a dawn of the Empress here. Again, as I said, you're not born the Empress. The Empress is something you evolve into when you realize something. When you understand your own worth, perhaps here. When you understand what it is you bring to the table. Right? It's that you bring something special in that others don't. Like that's the Cancerian realm. It's like that. What would the world be like if we didn't have fairy tales? If we didn't have realms of dreams? If we couldn't imagine anything else but what's outside our door? What if we couldn't dream about the fairies or the prince in shining armor? What if that were taken totally away? She can also represent a mother here. For a single guy who may want family. He has built everything, but he doesn't have a wife, perhaps, right? He doesn't have children. But you could be someone who could actually bring that into his life, right? If you agree on the terms, maybe, if you know that you agree on the terms, that you have the same value, you actually do want the same. But knowing that you have worth here, right? Knowing that you bring something to the table that is not to be taken for granted. I believe that a lot of feminine energy is taken for granted. Like for instance, every time a mother gives birth to a child, why isn't she given, like she should receive a reward? She has done something incredible. Something that a man cannot do. She has provided a child. That is work. She has done this with her body. I know that we will say, but that's embedded. It's part of the feminine trait that she can have children. Yes, but it's still on her to do it, right? It's still something she has to give time to, give nurture to, give her body to. You could say sacrifice an appearance, a body to do so. She should be rewarded, cherished for her motherhood. Bringing a child. The child is the next generation. The child is the one that is your ascendant, right? It's the next line. If women are not bearing children, life stops. Human life stops. You know, being a mother, even like a housewife at home, is a cherished thing. It should be. But for some reason, the world is challenging the paternal or the masculine efforts more. Many things that feminines do are not paid for or rewarded in any way. It's just taken for granted. And I get it. Some men would say the same. That some things men do are also just taken for granted. I guess that this is a thing where we somehow have to learn to see each other differently. We have to get aware. One of the things that the feminine can be struggling with in regards to her value is that many of the things she does cannot be seen. It's not she hasn't built a house. She is building atmosphere. She is an atmosphere. Something untouchable, you know. There is something about a house without a woman in it and a house with a woman in it. Like she brings in something that is different than when she's not there. Do you get my point of that? It's like it's especially someone like this, like a feminine like this, she would bring in a certain atmosphere. I want to say, yeah, a zone, like or a tune here. She would bring in a certain tune to the house that someone else could be building, right? But the house is rocks and wood and stone or something. She brings in something else inside the home. That is why she is an eternal flame. It's like she is the flame, right? She's the flame of the home. She's the home flame. And when you take her out, it's like the home flame or flavor or tune or, you know, the voice, the nurture, the hugs, the caring, it's gone. Like it's not there. That's why she has value. I feel like this one is dawning to her value. Dawning to know what she actually brings. You know, every time a mother comforts a child, hugs a child, it's not written down anywhere. There is no, you know, like achievement list or things done today list of a mother. I have hugged my children 4 times. I have put on 3 bandages. I have sat and did school reading with these and these and these children. I have secured them in a dangerous situation. I have, you know, there is no achievement list of a mother. There are no stamps in a book. What she does usually evaporates like that. When the hugging of the child is over, when they have, you know, they have hurt their knee or they have been in some kind of quarrel with someone, they're very distressed. The balance that she brings in, the harmony, the rebalancing that she brings in. And when the child gets footed again, gets back to its balance and it can pursue playing again, it can go out there again, it can actually participate in again, it kind of evaporates, right? There are no photo shooting of every time she does that. There is no, like milestone or in the road or beside the house every time she does that. Every time she balances something. There is no milestone. There is no check mark. There is no, it takes a special eye. It takes someone here who has been without it for a long time to actually see the value and to appreciate it every single day, right? What she's doing, what is it actually she brings? Every time she sets herself aside and she decides to be available for someone else, listens to their problems, hug them, give them a supportive, pep talk, just be empathic. Every time she does that, she could choose not to, right? She could choose to be not care. But that's the Cancerian energy. It's like that is what you provide, and it has value. It has tremendous value. And therefore you have to know that. You have to really stand in that value. This is a dawning Empress, I feel like, who is getting more and more clear on her own value and freeing herself from something here that may have been a toxic bind or something. She has freed herself. This is a 10. 10 suggests done. You see, she's bowing. The show is over. No more participation. I've nothing more to offer. Situation has ended. You are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So it's also an advice, I feel like, to really put that past behind you and trust that you have freed yourself. You have freed yourself. You are in the dawn now. The dawn of knowing your own worth. The dawn of, you could say, maybe a King of Pentacles here. Experience. Definitely something about building self-worth, knowing your worth, knowing what you stand for, knowing what you bring to the table, knowing that this is not to be taken for granted. Like, I am seeking someone who can see this and who is valuing it because it is special. Not participating in a game where you are not valued. Or again, as I said, every time a woman bears a child, she should be treasured. Like, this is new life. This is a new generation on earth. Because we do not have eternal life. So you can be, very successful here. You can build an empire. But eventually you will grow old and die. Someone standing here who can actually see that they have an heir. They have a potential heir who could take over. And you have secured not only your own life, but actually also maybe the next generation. That is how hard he has been working this one, right? That is the catch he is. That is how, and again, this is maybe what you need to know about yourself, that you are the catch here. You are the catch. Without you, there are no flowers. Without you, there are no colors. Without you, there is no dance. Without you, there is no music. Without you, there is no love. Right? Without you, there is no imaginary realm. Without you, there is no fun, maybe, right? So you need to know that you have something special to offer here. Or without you, there's no peace. Because someone who is always working here, very ambitious, very goal-oriented, even if they get to a goal, they can't stop. They now make a new one, and a new one, and a new one, and a new one. They will never stop. They will always keep going. Because there is nothing else. If they stop, what were they supposed to do with themselves then? They don't know anything else but working, right? If this is an outside energy. But somehow I feel like this has to do with self-worth, confidence, like knowing that you bring something special to the table. What you are bringing is worth something, right? It's maybe it's worth money. Maybe this is a business deal. Again, this could be a work that you fit into, like it could be a special caretaker situation that you fit into, but then you will be compensated, right? You will be adequately compensated for what you bring. That could also be what this is, again, confidence, that I bring something special here, and if you don't want to compensate me, or if you don't want to bring this to the table, well then I'm out, right? I'm out. I'm not engaging in things that cannot see my value. What else can we get? One more card on Bridget here. Yeah, you see, I get divine feminine here. This is Empress energy. It says here magnetic receptive power, right? It's like receptive power means that you have the ability to receive, maybe, worthiness here, like you receive appreciation or compensation even here. King of Pentacles is a catch. Maybe you receive compensation. You like a compensation for that you are a catch, that you are special, that you hold a special energy here. Or someone is coming in with, that this is what they have to offer you, knowing what you have to offer. As I said, could be in the magical realm. You could be like an artist. You could be a writer, a novel writer. You could be a poet. You could be But in that process here, you are building, I feel like, divine feminine here, Empress energy, receptive power, becoming magnetic to what it is you want to manifest in your life. A 7 card, which suggests spirituality, intuition. It suggests psychic abilities. So this is the card of Isis, as she's bringing news of the deep reflection and increasing receptivity coming into your life. So I get the dawn, saying goodbye to something, a rebirth, a dawning rebirth coming into your life. The Egyptian hieroglyphic symbol of the eagle represents spirit, and the wisdom the soul brings to life. This eagle comes to rest upon her hands, bringing profound understanding. This card reveals a time of power, peace, and deepening clarity for you. Yet underneath this quiet resonance, your magnetic energy is swirling in accelerated motion, creating a vortex of attraction within and around you. Your yin energy is on the rise, again on the rise. It's dawning, it's coming. It's a restful yet dynamic time, and it may call for you to go inward, to reflect on present situations, receive guidance, and make future plans. It's also a grounding time, one during which you, like Isis, choose to connect your own light with the gentle, supportive vibration of earth energy. There is a certain medicine in this conscious connection, ushering in balance and healing on many levels, including physical, emotional, and even financial issues. So allow yourself to open up to your own magnetic powers. This card could also herald the coming of a new woman into your life. This might be a close friendship or a bargaining romantic love. Your growing receptivity is likely to call in an important karmic relationship at this time. Be open to the lessons and meaningful connections that lay ahead. So interesting. I have already talked about like a calling in of something. But I feel like, and I said woman here because you are feminine, right? So calling in a mutual energy that is, it has similar harmonic wishes. Similar harmonic wishes. I don't know if it's going to be like romantic as in lovers, but it could be a heart connection still. Like because you resonate on a deep level. So it depends on what it is that you're looking for. Worthiness here. Like knowing that you are worthy of receiving something special here, right? That you, I get dawning Empress here from this very beautiful energy, Cancer, for you. Dawning energy, dawning Empress here. So also dawning feminine energy, feminine Empress energy. Yeah, and I took another one from the Lemurian deck here, the water. This also came out in the other reading that I tried to do, water, overflowing water. This is a very, very Cancerian, very watery, very, and again, it says here the overflow here. The overflow of, you could say, like spiritual insights, intuition, cleansing of it also with the water here, and the watery realm, the imaginary realm of magic, perhaps here, right? That you you engage more and more in your watery realm, and become more and more like that, and it will take you to a more of a receptive, magnetically receptive energy. Isis is quite powerful. She was an Egyptian queen, right? And she, her counterpart was Osiris. He was the king, and she was his queen, right? So calling in calling in an energy that like truly sees your value here. from a manifestation point, a magically manifestation point. So imagining the characteristics of someone like this, right? Imagining someone like that in your life. And even you could say from a magical perspective also, you could say, what would the Empress energy be like? Like if you're not trying to call forth a partner, then you're trying to call forth the divine feminine in you, right? Building your like divine feminine Empress energy. So doing that from an imaginary realm as well. What is she like? What is her characteristics? What is it she brings to the table? Why is she an Empress? What is that? What is an Empress energy? The Empress is usually depicted as a pregnant woman. She's usually a pregnant woman. She is and it means that she's already in that process. Like she's very fertile. She exudes mother energy, right? That is what the Empress does. She exudes this mother energy. She has to take care of herself, her body. She has to sleep enough. She has to, care for herself and for the child to be, right? She's doing that. Maybe you are becoming a mother here, or becoming pregnant, or you are birthing something. You are in a birthing process maybe of something here. Being a divine feminine Empress that attracts to you what it is that you need. That's what the feminine does. That she's not a damsel in distress, right? But she's requiring certain things. Like her state of being, like her fertility, her ability to be the mother and be a healthy, vibrant, colorful mother requires certain things. And that is what she is attracting to her. So that is what I see here for you, Cancer. A very beautiful energy here, and very vibrant, very like it kind of exudes this fire or this confidence. I feel like strength and confidence and vitality and vibrancy. But I feel like also willpower, like she knows who she is now, right? She knows that she's, and maybe also what she wants and what she doesn't want to participate in, right? Because she cannot be in something that she may have been in here, that you have conquered. I must say that you have conquered it, or you are very, very close to. I feel like you have, because this is already dawning. It's already here, right? It's already here. It's building momentum, you could say. It's like a resilience, or a resilience of maternal core energy. I feel like you are somehow dawning into that, or rising that feminine energy in you. And there's this sense of respect, right? Like requiring respect, requiring that, no, like I'm not putting up with, bullshit, right? I'm not putting up with that. I have a certain self-respect here. I have something to like maintain. Like I don't want to give my energy to someone who doesn't see my worth, someone who doesn't care, or who is just take it for granted, right? That is what I feel like is here on the table. So for you, very beautiful energy, Cancer. Your confidence is growing. I feel like you are moving closer and closer to the, because you have something special to offer. You are special. You do bring something to the table, and it's supposed to be seen and valued. You're asking for that respect here, right? You're asking to be seen. You're asking to be understood. You are expecting it. Like you exude that energy to be respected as a feminine empress. That is what you send out. And only those who will honor that are supposed to be in your inner circle, right? Only those who see that is supposed to be in your inner circle. Only those who respect it and see it can even receive it, I want to say. And I feel like also that for you here, it's something about where do I direct my energy, right? Who is the right one to direct my energy towards here? Because if I direct it in a situation where it's not taken for granted, or sorry, it is taken for granted, it is taken and then not really valued. Or, I've been performing here without pay, I have been performing without pay. Here it feels a little bit like there has to be a respect, an honoring, or a devotion, a loyalty to your energy. If there is no respect or loyalty or devotion, or even pay, maybe if this is a work situation, then, well, you don't want to do it. Or you decide to take your energy out of that and direct it somewhere else, right? That is what you're doing, I think. And you're looking for it, right? The flute here is trying to call in that place, or those kind of people who see that value, who see that glow here that you have. Because I think many people can see it, like they can maybe pick it up. They understand you are friendly, you are safe and friendly, and they may just like want to have it from you. But here I see like the dawn of someone who, like an empress, is royalty, right? She's not a page of cups. She's royalty. She is above the queens. Like her, you could even say here that you would not accept someone less than a king. Like they should at least have king status to understand that you are a queen or you are royalty, right? It's like putting on a crown, like owning your self-worth, owning your power, owning that you have something special to bring to the table, owning that you bring value, you bring an atmosphere, and that atmosphere is priceless. Something like that. But it can easily be taken for granted. We say that nice guys finish last. So if you are a Cancer guy here, I even speak to you also, right? I speak to you that you have to know that what you bring as a nice guy, is not to be taken for granted. It's supposed to be recognized. It's supposed to be considered special. You bring an atmosphere into the room. Right? You bring warmth. You bring care or consideration. It's not to be taken for granted, because many other people don't bring that. They bring other stuff, but you bring something special. Some people bring fun, fire, right? They bring amusement, fun, roller coasters. They bring all kinds of ecstaticness into the realm. You bring peace and calm and balance. You bring, maybe for some, safety. You bring a sense of color. You could say calmer colors maybe, but you bring that to the table. You bring healing. Cancers are great healers. You bring healing, right? So when people have burned themselves out there, they have gone too far, they got stressed and something, who do they go to? They go to this one, searching for healing, nurture, understanding, blah, blah, blah. But this is not to be taken for granted, right? Your beautiful heart is not to be taken for granted. And people have to get to figure this out about you, right? They have to understand, no, I don't give you my heart just like that. Not if you leave me hanging afterwards, right? I look for harmony and balance. I look for two-ness, the two that become one. I look for mutual receptivity, not just to be used and then left, you know? So I talk to those cancers here as well. I feel like I said in the last reading I tried to do for cancers, I will say it here also, that if you have a placement in your chart that says 13 degrees, 13 degrees of Cancer, or within 3 degrees of that 13 degrees, if you have a placement there, your sun or any other planet, especially personal planet, you are you do receive intuitively or otherwise, you do feel or have integrated maybe a sense of Syrian energy. Syrian energy is very loving and very kind. It is very much like this, but there is a sense of being maybe a bit ostracized, abused, an outsider, feeling like an outsider, feeling maybe not valued, feeling a scapegoat, things like that. So if you are on my channel and you have somehow felt a bit like a scapegoat or dealt with something here that you had to free yourself from, again, maybe a feeling that you are not worth anything, that what you bring to the table has no worth. Well, maybe it has no practical or less practical worth in the world, you know. It's not considered. As I said, like the feminine energy, it's like it's just taken for granted somehow. That feminines provide this. That's what they do. And well, you can, if you are a nurse or you are a child caretaker or maybe disability caretaker or something, then you can have a work that is where you do get paid for your qualities, right? Or you do get paid for your healing, what you provide somehow. But it's like Yeah. But for those who have this placement with Sirius, the star Sirius, it's like it could be the feeling that what you are doing here on Earth is not validated. Like it's not seen as if it has any like real value. And therefore the worthiness can be low. The self-worth or self-confidence can be low. That what you actually have, what you are and what is you, and what you bring to the table is not regarded as something, to be paid for or to be respected or given some kind of credit or something. But it is. That's what I'm saying. It is. It does have value. And the Syrian origin, like the Syrian root, again, the Syrian root that you are carrying is sometimes actually, well, in this very masculine and materialistically oriented world, this is not, it's like it doesn't fit well. Maybe you have the feeling people only seek you out when they are in distress. People only come to your aid or only contact you when they are in distress. They never contact you in good times. Then they are out having fun with someone else. So it's only when they are, sad or like in that kind of mode. Or if they, they're looking for a new mother. Like they look for someone who can be motherly to them, right? Then they come, but otherwise they don't come, And that can make maybe a healer here a bit, a mother healer or a maternal figure. It can maybe feel a bit lonely, I guess. Because when people only seek healing, it means that they are in distress and they don't feel well. And when they don't feel well, they have nothing else to offer. Right? They don't offer you anything healing. They don't offer, again, the balance. They don't offer you anything healing. But they may expect you to heal their problems, right? Or their frustration, or their sadness, or their distress. That's why I said something in the beginning about finding the environment or the right people, because otherwise you can exhaust yourself. But I think whom I'm reading for here, they know this already. Like this is a dawning Empress. That's what I feel like. Like a cardinal, or that the cardinal is waking up in you. Like the cardinal part of you is dawning. It's coming in, right? The inner leader, the self-mover in you is being activated. That's what I feel like. Which is very, very beautiful and very interesting for this new upcoming year of 2024. We have a brand new start, again a dawn, a brand new start for Cancers. I think that the year 2023 has been very transformative, a bit like a roller coaster. And it seems like there's something dawning. It's like it's waking up. I feel it's like, waking up. Like it's it is waking up. It is waking up. Yeah. So this is what I have. Cancer, I hope this helps somehow. Take care of yourself out there. I send you my best love and light to you. Bye bye.